just a bloke in a bar.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the DMP. And before I get into it, Bloke hoodies, Monday, 6 p.m. We've got this colour, petrol blue, and then we've got a cream with a tinge of yellow, beautiful colour. There is 6 p.m. on Monday, very, very limited. I reckon we've got about the numbers-wise, we've got much less numbers-wise than we usually order. So if you love them, make sure to be there 6 p.m. Monday. Also, huge announcement. Beer, Food and Footy Festival. The Beer, Food and Footy Festival is back Saturday, the 22nd of July at Henson Park in Marrickville. It's such a great afternoon combining beer and footy at Henson Park, home of the famous Newtown Jets. We will be selling Bloke beer there along with heaps of other brewers and food vendors, while the Jets will be playing Manly in New South Wales Cup at the same time. It's a great day. Grab your mates or your partner or whoever and go to the Beer, Footy, Food and Festival. Tickets will be in the show notes, so make sure to grab some tickets. I'll be down there pouring Bloke beers. We may get some NRL players down there too, but I'll definitely be down there. Bloke will be down there. That is the 22nd of July. It's an incredible day, guys. You get to watch footy and test beers from all local independent brewers from all across the country, plus some beautiful, beautiful food. Tickets will be in the show notes. Make sure to get them early before they sell out, guys, because Henson Park obviously isn't, it's not a huge stadium. Get them before they sell out, 22nd of July. Also, we have Bloke Stadiums available. Head to bloke.shop for that and much more. Breaking the Ips, boys. Any updates?
No updates. We're just getting everything together for this goal. Cool. So I'll let you know.
Same as last week. Updates. The update is that there is an update coming.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
We'll keep you updated.
Okay. We'll keep you updated.
It's a teaser trailer.
Yeah. There are some Kill the Stream jumpers, I think, still left on the website. Hellosport.shop if you want to grab one of them. Obviously, the stream was killed last week.
The stream was killed.
And that's 2 years in a row of killing the stream.
Yeah. So, listen, the chances are you'll need it.
Listen, it's a neutral origin jersey. You either celebrate killing the stream or you want the stream killed, and it's a call to arms.
It's a call to arms.
Stream.
Yeah. So
the stream of maroon consciousness, maybe.
Just kill everything, basically. Is it like if you're one of us, you just want everything killed, and if you're one of you fucks, then you want to celebrate it. You want to celebrate that you're killing everything.
Okay.
It's a jumper for every man and woman.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's at hellosport.com.au.
.shop.
Hellosport.shop.
Apologies.
There is limited sizes left, but have a look.
Okay. Well, we fuck up the sizes every time. So
look,
if you're a dwarf, which I believe is the correct nomenclature, you can say dwarf, little person, then you might have a jumper there for you.
Okay. Matty is also, can put the camera on Matty, is wearing the other colour in the bloke jumper. So look, we got you covered. We don't want you cold. Here at the DMP, we don't want you cold.
No.
So
we want you warm.
Whether it's Hello Sport or bloke, jumpers are coming. Let's get straight into it though. Manly signed Luke Brooks, Jackson Ballor, Tommy Talau, and they re-signed Tolu Kola. Also, strong mail. A lot of reports that Schuster has agreed to a 3-year extension.
I think that's already been... We announced it, didn't we?
Not by Manly.
I swear I saw it on Manly's fucking Instagram.
Matty's the best in the game. He doesn't miss this stuff.
It's funny.
Dave.
It's
well,
listen. Your mind plays tricks on you. I may not have seen. I swear I saw it on Manly though. Maybe not.
Sometimes the media machine can just convince you.
Well, when you're on there and you just your mind turns to mush and you're just getting fed shit and you're almost like a zombie. You don't really know where you saw something.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to know.
Well, shout out to the Northern Beaches driblette, who I don't know if she
gets that good or what?
No, but she started a rugby league rumour that made it into the SMH, which was that Tolu Kola, Latu Finau's manager had been spotted at the Gold Coast. She was just talking shit on Twitter. And then
that's great yarn.
Yeah.
To rile
that's great stuff.
All she wanted to do was rile up Tigers fans.
Yeah.
And it fucking pumped.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just throwing the bait out there and getting all the way.
People believe anything.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of the internet.
What's the beauty of rugby league as well?
Well, rugby league never stops delivering in spades.
Really does it. All right, boys.
Yeah, big week for the club.
Big week.
Denon.
Huge week.
Big week for the club.
Huge week.
Just some question marks,
big
though.
Week. Yeah, obviously.
Because obviously there's your fucking... So, Cooler re-signed, beautiful.
That's great.
Tommy Talau comes in.
Well,
Jackson Paulo comes in.
Sure.
Luke Brooks come in. Who are we getting rid of? That's what I want to know. First and foremost, who's going?
Yeah.
Who's staying?
And have we been given any fucking, like, I'd like to have some say in who's going. I've got a couple in mind. I've got a couple I don't
Well,
want to
listen,
leave.
we've got people that we don't even need to mention.
No, exactly. I think it's pretty obvious. I mean, yeah, there's a couple of interesting decisions there. I am liking, Eddie, the fact that we have probably more halves than any other position.
Currently got 4 sevens.
4 sevens.
If you include Brooks in that.
Maybe
DC.
he's going to play as many sevens as possible.
Well, that's what we mused about.
Oh,
We
okay.
mused about the possibility of Manly potentially, or Seabold specifically, you know, like
Fielding
Baz Ball's taking the world by storm in Test cricket.
You wouldn't know that, but
maybe
it is.
sevens rugby league.
I'm all
where-
about
Sixes
Cumble.
and sevens.
I'm all about Cumble.
Yeah,
but
it's,
anyway.
well, exactly. We're all at 6s and 7s, which
Yeah.
is basically where the whole side is 6s and 7s. The
Now-
whole side, even the front rowers.
You know what? Bazball is quite ironic because maybe he's playing Trent Bazball where he had all those outside backs, but he's doing it with halves.
Yeah, it's C-ball.
Yeah,
Potentially. Potentially.
SEI ball.
Yes.
C-ball.
I reckon Cooper Johns, maybe he's...
You would
I
assume.
think he may be quitting. I don't know. I've got no mail on that.
No, but
he was already close to
his
it.
contract is not beyond this year. I think it was training
I think
trial.
you can probably assume that Cooper on the way out.
Well, when you look at Cooper, you go, mate, you've already got a
He's got a
gun
meaty career.
career in media. You're on the Kiss show. What's it with the Kyle Sanderlands or
Kyle
whatever?
and Jackie O.
Yeah, he's
killing it.
He's absolutely.
So why
fine.
would you want to bash your body around when you got that?
I don't even think he's that concerned. He hasn't said that specifically to me. It's just a vibe I get.
Yep.
Josh Schuster obviously going to the back row. You would assume.
I just wish we paid him a bit more.
Josh Schuster.
Yeah.
Well, listen, he's the 3rd highest paid back rower in the comp, Tom.
I just think...
if you go off the numbers, but Denon's told us before the numbers can be bullshit. I don't know what to think. That's the
this
problem.
doesn't sound like they are. And
The
I can't
problem
blame
is-
Josh either. Get the bag, baby boy. But, like, I'm
I
just
thought-
trying to work out...
I thought Manly had salary cap pressure.
Well, I thought, Eddie,
Didn't we?
that we were getting rid of Latu Finau of, if you believe the whispers, if you believe the semen emerging from rugby
If
league
you believe
gurus'
Guru.
penis, it's that this kid could be anything, Latu Finau, next big thing sort of stuff. I heard that we were getting rid of him because of salary cap pressure. Now, that may be true, but
Didn't we get rid of Foran because of salary cap
Well, we got
pressure?
rid of Foran because we wanted Schuster to play 5'8".
Yeah, right.
And now he's going to the back row.
After half a year.
Well,
The decision's been made
Yes,
after half
yes,
a
And
year.
the
He's going
Titans
back.
are above you on the table.
And the Titans are
Yeah.
above us on the. I
And
didn't
old
know
man
that.
Foran playing fucking
Poppy Foran
wise.
playing-
He's playing
yeah.
wise rugby league football.
And it's funny because they're also getting our former coach Des Hasler, which is not upsetting, but it's
And looking
not
like
nothing.
getting Ben Hunt.
Well, getting Ben Hunt of all kinds. So it's not that, like, whatever. That's fine. Now look, the Luke Brooks thing. You know what I'm happy for? Like if you were to if you remove the club, the Manly Seagulls, from this equation, I'm happy for Luke to get the fuck out of that batshit shithole that is the West Tigers. No disrespect. You know, I'm happy for Luke, right? You know, get out of there, spread your wings, fly free, all that sort of
Spread your
shit.
semen.
Spread your wings.
Spread
I
your
mean,
semen,
he
spread
is
your
trying
wings.
to spread his wings. He's going to Manly.
But the issue I have,
clipping his
and
wings.
the issue I have,
No,
and
we're not
it's-
clip nothing.
not clipping a thing. The issue I have with this whole
We're
saga,
really raising
there's a couple of issues.
some
Couple of
eyebrows.
issues. Couple of eyebrows, couple of issues. And you, sir, are one of the cunts I've got an issue with, and probably people in rugby league media generally, bar maybe a couple. And it's a question I've got for you.
Okay,
Because I'd like to understand how this makes sense. And I was actually saying it to Maddie before. Now, you said, I believe, on the Monday show, which I almost fucking threw my phone at a wall, that you thought it'd be really good and that he'll potentially flourish in a Manly system where he's got the best halfback in the competition, Daly Cherry Evans, to play alongside, takes a lot of the pressure off him, right? He doesn't have to do much. So what it sounds like is that Luke Brooks plays best when he has a half that can kick for him, pass for him,
Think
set
for
up the
him.
game plan, think for him. So what it does is it means that Luke Brooks doesn't have to do much other than just be there, just play like whatever the fuck he sees, if he sees anything, right? Because who knows if Daly sees for him.
Yeah.
Daly's 34 years old though, Denon. So if you're signing someone under that pretense and then Daly retires in a year's time, maybe 2 years' time, but
Maybe
they're
this
talking
year.
next year, maybe this year, who knows? So what the fuck happens then? What happens then? What this whole fucking he's gonna flourish under this Manly system because he's a player that can't seem to fucking play well unless he's got a halfback who takes all the pressure. What the fuck happens then, Denon? Riddle me that one. No one seems to talk about what happens after Daly goes.
Well, currently, nothing. You're already fucked anyway. At least there's a chance he might be able to fucking make it work.
Are we or what's Latu?
Well, who's taken over? Well, Latu Fane's gone clearly. Like,
Right, but that didn't have
and
to
also
happen.
Latu Fane is more of a 6. He's not a 7.
Whatever, dude. He's still a fucking weapon.
Well, look, I understand your
4
frustrations.
years.
I understand your
4 years, long
frustration.
time.
He's
is
29. Stop referring to him as a kid.
He's 29 this year.
He's got a kid. The kid's got a kid. He's almost Poppy Foran's age.
Okay.
No knock on Luke.
Would you like me to answer?
Yes.
Okay. I understand your concerns.
Kid's hot on the collar.
I'm pissed off.
He's pissed off.
Is that why you're wearing a collar? Because you're hot under it today?
Well, I'm hot under this collar, to be honest. It's not that cold to be wearing
He's
a
been
fucking
boiling all
lambskin
week,
jacket.
steaming.
I just don't get the... Listen.
Kid's been steaming.
Listen, I just don't like mate, it'll be really fucking good. Like, okay, you don't know that, for starters. And if the reason he's going to be good is that Cherry Evans is going to make him good, what happens when Cherry Evans goes, which is not that far away. Now, you had the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Well, currently as it stands, I believe that Schuster has proven he's not going to be the 7. He's clearly not going to be even the 6. He's going to be a wide running forward. And who is on the market right now? Obviously, you've got Jake Arthur. He's relatively young. So maybe he, under his tutelage with DCE, he could move into 7. And I know everyone will say, oh, he has this negative stigma around him because what happened at the Eels or whatever, but he's still a young half.
I like Jake Arthur.
Cody Walker didn't debut till he's 26. I'm not saying he's Cody Walker, but I'm saying that halves take a while to
He's
develop.
only 20, I think.
Yeah.
So he's young as shit. Also, I would be shocked if DC retires in the next 24 months. I would be absolutely shocked if he doesn't play until at least 2025. 2025, I reckon, will be his last year.
He'll be 37.
In that time, but he looks better than ever.
No, I'm not knocking him. Listen, we've got in the lab currently fighting the 7 signs of age.
Injury-wise, not getting injured much. Pace, still got it, as you know. Still got it.
Yeah, he does.
He's still got it.
Still got it.
He's definitely still got it.
Still got it.
He proved it.
Yeah, he still
No,
got it.
no.
Well, he proves every week for the Manly Sea Eagles, we say it.
Yeah,
Still
yeah.
got it.
But like he might even gotten faster.
Well,
Well, he hasn't lost a step.
Because-
He hasn't lost a yard. You could argue he's gained a yard. He hasn't lost a yard.
So he's gaining yards.
Okay.
Well, listen, he's aging like a fine wine from a rugby league perspective. We've been over that. There is no guarantee that he's going to play fucking 3 or 4 more years. There just isn't any of that.
but is
It's
your
not at
theory
this
just
age.
that, like, well, you're fucked either way, so you may as well just sign Luke Brooks? If that is it, I'm happy with that justification. Just don't tell me that this guy is suddenly going to flourish under DCE. He might, but he also has shown that he probably won't, or that he hasn't so far. Or the 1 year that he got fucking halfback of the year, he had Benji there, right? But like, I just don't like the
decade
way
ago.
it's being sold to me at
Okay.
the markets.
All right.
Because if Daly goes, what then?
Okay. So basically, you're saying because Daly's going to go, don't make any moves in the market.
No. I'm saying don't
Who's
sell
in
it
the
to me.
market?
No, that's what I'm saying.
No, he's
I'm saying don't sell it to me.
got an issue with how it's been sold at the markets, the selling of the narrative.
But
of the yarn.
okay. But what's the reality is this: Luke Brooks is a talented rugby league player. He has won a Dally M. He has
hasn't
actually
won a
done
Dally M.
Dally M halfback of the year, 2018.
Yes.
So okay, his team hasn't made finals footy. Ben Hunt's team has maybe once since he's been at the club. We don't call Ben Hunt a shit.
How many grand finals Ben Hunt played in? Just quickly. How many?
Ben Hunt's an Origin player.
How many
though, so
Origin-
What I'm saying is, in the last whatever years,
Ben Hunt killed the stream.
the
dude.
Dragons have been
did.
really, really poor.
Yes.
Since Ben Hunt's been there.
But Ben Hunt has been a phenomenal player for the Dragons.
But there's been years where Brooks has also been really good.
he's not an Origin player. So it's
I'm
different.
not saying he's not as good, but what I'm saying is it's this all or nothing, like, because you aren't sure whether he's going to kick on, don't sign him.
No. I'm not saying that. Look, in the cold, harsh light of day, I can see how you go, who the fuck else is there? Let's get him for cheap. Like, sure. I'm like, whatever, that's cool. But to be like, oh, he's going to fucking kill it now. Like, you kind of just, I feel like there's a logical, is it a logical fallacy or something? Where it's like, this doesn't, the way you're trying to explain this to me as a great signing for Manly, to me doesn't make sense, because he's had many opportunities to fucking be a great halfback and he hasn't shown that. He might have shown glimpses of it. He was highly touted as a
Who
junior.
has, though, at the Tigers? Name a single player.
Right, but that's not,
killed it.
but that the Tigers,
Tedesco, he left. Did well.
He left. Yes,
Right,
that's what I'm
Moses.
saying. Every player that's left the Tigers has gone on to kill it.
sure. And listen, if he kills it, I'm going to whip his dacks down and go to town on him. Like, I want him to do well for the Manly Sea Eagles, and
Yep.
I'll welcome him to the club. But it's just
In the only way you know how.
in the only way I know how, which is with me mouth. Not just my mouth, but that's where I'll start. But like, but it's just, you can't tell me that because he's going to play with a great halfback, that's why he's going to be good. And if that is what you're saying, then I'm like, well, that's not a great reason. But
Well,
like,
I mean, you
if
look at-
Daly goes, then what does he do? He goes back to, does he go back to being a guy that is like, what the fuck do I do?
No.
I think the problem I've got with it, right, is that it's come at the sacrifice seemingly of a player that could be a really strong future half for the club, right? In Latu Fanu. They've got rid of him, and it just seems now like Jake Arthur, 20, very untested, certainly doesn't have the same fucking whispers of greatness that Latu does. If DC retires, when he retires, which maybe sooner rather than later, just because fucking age takes souls, baby. It's undefeated. Then what's the future, right? Then you've got Brooks, who seems to be untested or it doesn't perform by himself. Then what now? Well, now we've got Jake Arthur. Schuster's not a fucking half. We've let go of a prodigious talent in Latu. The problem for us is there is no fucking half tree that you can nip down and start picking fresh, juicy, gorgeous halves. I want there to be a half tree, Dannon. I want more than anything for there to be a tree of halves, and I could sell them, and I'd be a fucking billionaire.
It sounds like we had a tree at our club, and it wasn't a half tree, but it seemed to have produced a really juicy half that you aren't ready to pick off and bite yet.
Sometimes you might be able to harvest a gorgeous fullback. You know what I mean? Who also has a fucking brother that's an incredible fucking back rower / front rower. You know what I mean? And then before that, same thing, same brother thing. Like there's trees on the peninsula that produce. You just don't know what they're going to produce.
Can I also say this or ask this question of you? We're bringing Luke on as a 5'8". Latu a 5'8". Right? Why don't we give Latu a fucking crack? See how that kid goes. Hey, maybe you learn next to DCE, Latu, and then you know what happens? DCE's getting a bit older. You know who's ready to come in? You know who's had a bit more fucking time down? Oh, Jakey Arthur. Now we've got Jake and Latu.
You are more confident of an untested teenager that will come in and be successful than Luke Brooks, who, although has struggled at times, also has shown some really good form.
No, I'm not. What I'm saying is, I'm like, you've got 4 years of Luke Brooks, who has, with the exception of, let's say, 2 seasons of his 10-year career, no disrespect to the man, but the footballer has done fuck all. With respect, I would at least like to see what Latu looks like before you just fucking send him off to shit.
Well, clearly something more has happened.
We don't want it to be another Nico Hines situation, another Gutho situation necessarily. You know what I mean? That's one of the great fears for Manly is that we become a club that just goes, you know what? Have him. Fuck it. You know what I mean? That's sort of where it's coming from. And you don't get answers out of the club. No one fucking says anything. And so you're left to come up with your own theories on things.
Well, look, I actually think, as I said, I think he'll go really well. I think under the tutelage of DCE, he'll learn a lot. He might go well. I think the fact that Fainu is potentially going somewhere else, clearly something else has happened there. Like, clearly something else is going on there. I think that
I'd like to know what it is. So then
I actually think, my personal opinion, you can't wait for halves to come around because then you just may not get them anyway. Brooks is coming off contract. He has shown signs of being a really, really good, like he's won 7, as in he was playing 7 when he won his Dally M for that position, but he's a really good 6 in my opinion. And if, let's say you go...
A really good 6?
I think he can be a really good 6, 100%. I mean, his last 4 games before he did his hammy, he was fantastic. But I just think that, like, you can't... If you're going to sit there and be like... Fainu, for example, there's clearly something that's gone on there. Like, why would you get rid of him unless something's not working out? You know, whatever it is.
Well, that's where it gets a little bit muddy, right? Because you say, clearly something's happened. But has it? And if you don't find out what it was, and so you're left to speculate.
Because I thought clubs often are more than happy to bury a fucking player to make themselves look good, right? You know what I mean?
Well, like, he's not big enough for that to worry about. Like most people.
But if your fans are going, why the fuck are we letting him go? Isn't he big enough?
But
like you're paying him $250,000 a year to be a fucking teenager.
Yeah, he's not really that big where it matters that much. Like it's not going to be in a few years if he goes on to kill it, then obviously. But like he hasn't even played first grade yet, so you don't need to push the media machine behind him. But let me just get through this. Let me through it. Brooks, I think, will flourish with DC. I think DC at minimum has this year and next year. I think he'll potentially go into the year after that. I'm actually more concerned about the extension of Josh Schuster for 3 years from 2025 on a reported big wicket when, unfortunately, He's had a good season of footy at back row, but outside of that has been super inconsistent.
3-year extension from 2025.
Pretty sure, yeah. Could you just confirm that? But I'm pretty sure.
From 2025.
Yeah. That's my concern because
Holy
I personally
shit.
don't think Schuster this year has earned that contract.
No.
We all know his potential. We know it. He's already on 2 years. He's already got 2 more years to go, I'm pretty sure, on his current contract. So I don't know why you'd even consider extending him.
I didn't
That's my
realise it was
concern.
that much.
Also, my other concern is I believe your club needs culture signings. The signings at the moment don't really reflect that.
I agree.
It's
Not at all.
You know, outside of Kohler, I love the Kohler
Yeah,
extension.
love Kohler extension,
Incredible. Talau, heaps of potential. But hasn't hit it.
But we've still got, so Morgan Harper's there. Who knows what will happen with him? Brad Parker's there. Garrick, they wanted to play centre. Are they now thinking, fuck, Tommy might never come back and he's going to go to fullback? Is that the...
Well, that's what I mean.
Is that the thinking?
I like the Brooks signing, but all the other signings, like Polo, Talau and Schuster, I don't understand. What you got, Matty?
Yeah, so his contract finishes in 24. It's a 3-year extension reportedly up until 2027. And while Manly haven't announced it on their website, I don't know if he's got a member email or something, but I can't find it anywhere. But Schuster confirmed it in a quote, so it's done.
So that to me, I believe, even though we know how good Schuster can be, we say it over and over and over and over again, I don't think that's good recruitment. I don't think he's earned a 3-year extension.
Why do we need Jackson Paulo?
I was.
Where's that come from?
For 3 years. I didn't see the Jackson. Listen,
We need front rowers. That's what we need.
We need a big, fucking thick, meaty, girthy, thick as fuck front
Someone
row.
like Aden Fedor-Blake.
You need...
He would have been good. What happened to him?
He would be good. You know what you need?
Someone
you need,
like him.
You need a similar, like Jake Trbojevic obviously is your heart of your team, but you need like a Cam McInnes, a Dale Finucane, a player like that in your forward pack, because your concern right now is your forward pack 1 week rocks up, belts the fuck out of the best team in the comp. The next week rocks up and is just not even close to that team. Like there's no DNA in the side. Whereas if you get dogs in the middle that week in, week out, yes, they may not be as talented as some of your forwards, but at least they're giving you a 7 to 8 out of 10 rather than 9 out of 10, 5 out of 10.
We need to go to
9
the
out of 10.
pound, pick up a couple of dogs.
You need
Some dogs, bro.
You need to visit the pound.
Yeah.
A couple of stray dogs that are looking for, a fresh start on the beach.
But like, let's go back to the Josh Schuster signing for a second. If there is salary cap pressures, and everyone in fucking media is saying that there are salary cap pressures, so
At
that
Manly, you mean?
at Manly,
Yeah. Very top heavy.
that's a lot of money. That's a lot of do-re-mi. Do you think there's whispers in the background that I don't know when Tommy Turbo comes up, are they looking to fucking cut the knees off that thing?
I think that it's so, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, but it's such a silly call in my opinion. I don't believe the figure. If you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's so absurd, that number, that you're like, how
that
could
number,
that possible?
exactly. The number is so. Now, look, the salary cap has gone up, but
800,000 a year
Schuster-
is insane.
Schuster shouldn't be signing contracts the equivalent of the best back rowers in the competition.
Well, he'd be third on that number based on this media list that they released. It was David Fafita, then Nakora.
I thought David Feeder's $1 million contract was no longer, like it was 3
he
years.
downgraded, but I think it starts next year maybe.
Fucking hell, he's still on $1 million. He's good.
Actually,
again, but I thought he was past
This year, yeah, maybe it's this year. He's definitely under. So I don't believe the figure.
No.
I can't.
So you don't think 800 is
I
the
just
figure?
can't. No,
It's a psycho number.
It's
But I
ridiculous.
also wonder though, like,
You shouldn't be paying your back rowers $800,000 a
well,
year.
that as well, but like, let alone one who's literally he was 5'8" right now.
But
We're
also,
moving him to fucking
he
back row.
struggled to make the side last year. He literally
Had a weight issue this year.
This year, he had to get dropped to train to get fit again. Not even injury, just train to get fit again to play. So that's why I'm just really shocked. It's just honestly, even if the 3-year extension was $400,000, I still don't understand it. He's got 2 more years to go. Why are you extending a young fella 2 years away from?
Could I ask you a serious question? Would you have got rid of Des Hasler?
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah,
Absolutely
and I'm
not.
not saying Seabold's good. Seabold doesn't have the runs on the board for me to feel fucking either way about him, right? And we're not going well, and shit's all over the place. So I'm a little bit nervous.
No,
But
I actually think, and I was back in Seabold that I thought he had a lot more in him. I actually think Seabold's season has been very disappointing. Very disappointing. His recruitment doesn't make sense in my opinion.
That's the thing. Doesn't seem like there's like logic and planning and even if there is logic and planning, why can't you explain that to your fan base?
Yeah.
Why can't you?
Well, even like, I know it was like everyone's like, oh, he was on the beers with his mates, but like passing out in Macca's, like, after everything that's happened, and then you add that onto it, then you add the performances on the field. I personally think that it's been a really disappointing start to Seibold's season. I really do. Matty, what were you going to say earlier?
Oh, no, I was just pointing out that Manly, because you asked about Turbo. Turbo signed on to 26. And I just had a look. Manly have a lot of people signed from 2026 and beyond. Cooler, Turbo, Kepi, Garrick, Brooks, Bello, Saab, Jake Travojevic. So a lot of people signed.
Like even the Paolo 3-year deal, I'm not understanding that. He's currently struggling to get into the Roosters.
The Roosters, who are a pile of shit.
We have
respectfully.
wingers.
You've got Tui Pilotu, who I think is fucking great. You got Saab, who has actually been playing good
Saab's
this year.
great.
In my
Saab's
opinion.
a walk-up start. Garrick, if you needed him to.
Yeah.
We've got Ray Vega, who's in the lower grades.
Yeah,
It does not.
it is quite surprising.
It's not the thing that we were crying out for.
I honestly backed Seibold, and I was like, give him a chance. I think he can fucking be a good coach, and he still may turn this club around. But so far this year, I think it's been really disappointing.
But who's coming off? Like, is Tui Pilotu off? Is he off?
I reckon
Surely Morgan Harper's got to go. Surely
Morgan Harper will go. Tui Pilotu.
Brad Parker has to go, you would think.
I
When's
don't
he
know. I
fucking
like
contracted
Brad
to?
as well.
So do I. I'm a
I'm
huge fan of his
fucking-
work, but you're signing fucking centers from here to Timbuktu. You got fucking, how many wingers have we got now?
Like
Five or six wingers?
The problem, if getting rid of Parker, what I don't get,
I
he's
think
a
that's
culture.
wrong.
He's a culture player.
Exactly.
But he's also a good player. Like he's
Yeah.
not going to get into Origin.
He's 100% a culture player. I would not be getting.
Love him.
They love him. I wouldn't be getting rid of Brad Parker at all. But I'm looking at the fact that we've now got like 4 fucking centers or 5 centers.
Also, though, it is hard to ignore. I'm not the big alarmist of like Moses players, but it's like that is what it was also going on here. Paulo, not Jackson Paulo, Tommy Talau, he's Moses. Luke Brooks is Moses. Coach is Moses.
Yeah.
There's a few other ones dotted around there.
Well, it's unfortunate that you can't ignore the history that Seibold's had as a first grade coach. You just can't.
No, but
and doesn't mean it's true, but it is a history
but it's also like a storyline that has persisted.
Yeah.
And the fucking Broncos got butt fucked by Moses signing.
Yeah, whether it was his fault or not.
But there was that around.
Yeah.
That was around there.
The reality was a lot of players were signed. Whether that
Does
was
Luke
the reason
Brooks
they
need to
struggled.
be signed for 4 years? Do you reckon that extra year's of Moses?
Look, 4 years. I agree with you guys. That's pretty hectic.
Do we need that?
I thought it was 3 years, and we thought it was 3 years on Monday.
I thought it was 3 years the whole time. Then it came out it was 4.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus
So 4
Christ.
years, I think, is too long.
Let's say you want to sign Paulo. Does he
The
need to be
price
signed
is
for 3
alright. They
years?
got a
The
reasonably
price
good
is
price
good.
though.
Maybe
Does Jackson Paulo need to be signed for 3 years?
No, he definitely doesn't. And so the 4 years for me is super surprising. I think a perfect world would be 2 years because then you definitely can get him with DCE, see how it's going to go. If it doesn't work, you move him on.
Correct.
So I agree with you in regards to 4 years is too long, but I do think he's going to flourish under DCE.
I hope
what
you're
we're going to say, Matty?
So here are the players coming off contract for Manly. You got Aaron Woods, Alec Tuatavake, Brad Parker, Ethan Bullimore, Kale Weeks.
Re-sign Bullymore.
Bullymore, straight away. What the fuck are we doing? He's a fucking animal.
Bullymore rips in, mate.
Animal.
So Parker will go.
Morgan
might.
Boyle, Morgan
Well.
Harper, Ray Vega, and
Morgan
Sam
Harper.
Fainall.
Well,
go
there you go.
too.
Vegas.
So
seems
Parker.
So they're
Harper.
they'll put Parker and Harper off, I'd say. But because like you signed all these fucking guys, you got to get rid of people. You can't just
for
keep
sure.
everyone.
No.
Which is- especially the Brad Parker one. That's to me shocking. He's a culture player. Like he is a guy that he's going to give 100%
Lives and breathes it,
every
loves
single
Manly.
week.
Loves it, mate.
So yeah, as I said,
There's not, mate. You start looking at that fucking club now. There's not many culture blokes.
No. Lachlan Croker, Turbos.
Croker, the Turbos.
and the problem is Tommy is he's off the field quite a bit at the
Yes.
moment, and so Jakey's been injured, but Jakey's heart and soul. But
He's back this week.
as I said, like I just think that you didn't need. You've got enough talent. I just think you need more culture and DNA signings, and that's why
Tough
I'm
cunts.
surprised that you went. Basically, these signings to me look like athleticism signings. Outside of Brooks, he's a ball player, but like Paulo and Talau look like potential athletes, like these big 6'2", super strong, have all this potential, but we haven't really seen them deliver. Now, Tommy Talau's the really interesting one because coming out of school, he was the man.
Was he?
Oh, the man. His potential is like through the roof. He debuted, I think, at like 18. So he might have just been a victim.
Okay.
Yeah. He might have just been a victim of
little boner
the Tigers system. He also had a long-term injury that like kept him out for a year or so. So like Tommy Talau for me, if he's in the system that brings the best out of him, you could be really happy with that. But again, like Was it a needed signing? I'm not sure. Jackson Polo
Great
is
name as well. Now that you're telling me he's a really good player, now I'm just thinking about Tommy Talau, like just fucking dominating for me.
Talauing people up?
Yeah, Tommy Talau.
We still need dogs up front.
We need dogs.
That's what we need.
I don't mind
And I
getting
don't see
a
any.
hot boy,
I don't see
schoolboy
any
prodigy, but-
big, thick dogs up front. It'll be interesting. I'll forget about this episode. I know that I will, but it would be good to go back and review this episode in like 3 years' time.
Yeah.
Like, where'd we fucking?
I
Where'd we
reckon
go
Brooks
right here?
honestly
Where'd we go
reckon
wrong?
Brooks will go well. I really do.
I hope, mate, nothing would give me more joy. But like people, you know, when the news broke, it was a Monday. We'd had a fucking huge weekend. We were very fragile.
Yeah.
And the news was delivered to us by a smug little fuck by the name of D or Dave. And what you saw was raw, honest emotion that I won't apologise for.
Never apologise for being raw and honest and emotional.
No. But listen, I hope he goes well. I don't like the way that everyone's trying to spin it like he's going to be in a near a good half, so that's why he'll be good, because Daly will go and then what? If you're just saying, listen, he's cheap, fucking halves are hard to come by, get him, sure, I'll do that.
I would say this: he will be better than the Sixers we've been.
That's what I was about to say. Are you a better footy side for the
That's a fact.
for the next this season? Sorry, for the next 2 years, are you a better footy side with him and DCE?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
For the next 2 years, yes.
And so
For sure.
That's what
Yeah.
I like.
Which is where the 2-year deal would have come in and keeping Latu Fana. That would have been perfect. I would have been a fucking oath.
The only I don't think Latu's a 7. I don't.
No,
think
but he
he's a
could have.
7.
He could have played 6.
And then we go
because
And then Brooks plays
because Brooks isn't a 7 anyway.
But is he a 7? He won fucking day. Everyone's sucking him off that win
but he can't. But he can't. He needs someone else to kick, tackle, and fucking pass for him.
Yes.
So we'd need to find another 7, elite 7 anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Going off
That's
what
what
the
I'm
experts are saying.
What my point was is that like you're always going to have to find a 7 because Schuster and Fainu are never going to play together because they're similar-ish in regards to they're more 6. Brooks, maybe he could grow into a 7, but probably going to stay as a 6.
40, 45.
I wonder if we could. Maybe we'll have a yarn to Joey and just see if he'd be comfortable through osmosis
To come
going
back?
into Jake Arthur.
Do we like have
And
to?
then Jake, imagine if Jake Arthur just became the next big thing.
See, that'd be nice.
Like in rugby league.
He's still young,
like next Cleary,
but wins Origins.
but wins Origins.
He's even getting
We're in fucking
blamed. He
mood.
didn't even
Sorry.
play game 2 and he's getting blamed.
Sorry.
Fuck yeah, no.
Sorry, that was mean.
He
That
didn't
was
have any-
mean. That was
He
mean.
didn't have anything to do with
That
game
was
2.
mean. I take that back. I walked that
wow.
one back.
The only player that played well in game 2 was Brian Tyle
And Mitchell Moses
And
for
Payne
the first
Haas.
half.
and Payne Haas.
He ripped in Ted. All right, now
Reece was okay as well.
Reece Walsh suspended
Robson.
Robson, sorry.
and Walsh. 3 weeks after being found guilty, he's going to get 3 weeks found guilty of swearing at the ref. What are your guys' thoughts about this?
Did you
boys?
see just before what Peter Bedell said
my
about Reece Walsh? He was like, how dare he? Just look at him. Can we scroll down a bit, Matty? Suit. How dare he rock up to fucking a judiciary looking like Justin Bieber?
Seriously, show some respect. Can I be honest? I saw this photo of Reece the other day and I thought to myself, fuck, he looks good.
What's wrong with what he's wearing?
Nothing. Except he hasn't got a tie on. Is that what he's fucking...
Is it the tie?
Is that what he's...
No, it's he had an earring, I think.
So what?
He always wears an earring.
Who gives a fuck if he's wearing an earring?
According to this report, he's the first bloke to get charged for being hot.
Yeah. Well, no, it's grade 4 hotness.
Yeah.
Peter Padell. So basically what Peter wants is that he would have to go into hair and makeup, make himself look ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
but is Peter Bedell the arbiter of what's hot? Because no disrespect, but like you're not exactly a fucking oil painting.
No, I don't. No, it's the other way round. Peter's taking offence to hotness.
Because he's not hot.
So he would only be comfortable if Reece
Was ugly.
went and made himself look fucking hideous.
Yeah.
Made himself look like a troll.
Yeah. Oi, Reece, sorry, could we give some contact lenses so those eyes aren't?
But I also
bright and
think
blue?
I do think though. So there's both of these scenarios are outrageous. Either Peter believes what he's writing, which is fucking absurd,
Yeah, and embarrassing.
or Peter knows that we're all sick little fucks who get high on this shit and love either debating about it or agreeing about it because we're weirdos. And he writes these really weird takes.
genuinely think it's the former. I think he really feels that it was like, would Bellamy or Wayne Bennett allow a player to go to a judiciary like that? What in fucking God's name are you talking about, dude? What are you talking about?
Look, I think it proves a point. You know, it's not always sunshine and roses being hot. You know?
That's true, dude. Sometimes hotness can,
bring you down. And it brought him down here. I mean, he might have got off. If
that's just tall poppy syndrome.
I like saying Reece's manager can't just go like, "Oh, shut the fuck up, dude. What are you even talking about?" But seriously, what are you talking about? Like, report on anything.
Very
you want.
strange
There's
headline.
so much of Reece Walsh's behaviour that you can report on.
It's a very strange headline because if you flipped it and said he rocked up and he was ugly, you would get absolutely, and it's a call on his appearance. But anyway,
imagine rocking up looking that hideous. Like, get that fucking boil removed off your neck.
Yeah.
Imagine writing that.
Yeah,
You'd be shot.
Anyway, bizarre headline.
I will say this, though. Reece, I respect Reece for just committing so completely to the ruse.
Well, yeah,
you reckon
deny
it's a
till
ruse?
you die.
Just deny till you die. Getting his boys to come in. David Fafita comes in,
One of
plays
the
one of
worst
the great
witnesses
shockers
all
all time.
time.
But he'd planted his head. I need you to come in and do this. But I was saying it at Paddy Carrigan, back me up and shit. Listen, he lost his fucking cool in the moment and he didn't like the call and he fucking said some shit he regretted. That's it. It's not the end of the world.
I disagree.
I know. And you're like,
Of course
Carrigan's
you- of course
right there.
you
He's
do.
not even looking at
He-
Carrigan. He's looking straight at the ref. It's fine,
100%
whatever.
he is.
It's
He's
all
saying
good.
to the ref 100%. Doesn't matter. It's
So,
fine.
so you reckon Reece Walsh is such an evil genius?
Not an evil genius.
As
No,
not
don't,
evil.
hey, don't you
Can
put
I just
that
let me finish my sentence?
Mate,
Let me finish my sentence.
Deny till you die is not evil genius. That's schoolyard shit.
Let me finish my sentence. Do you reckon he's such an evil genius that as soon as it happened, he ran to the ref and said, "I was talking to Paddy"?
Fucking oath. That's
You-
what I'd do.
you-
100%.
Yeah.
100%. That's what I'd do.
You reckon in the heat of the moment he
Fucking
was
oath.
that switched on
Yeah.
within half a second?
100%. 100%. You know, 100. I would do that.
ref-
100%.
the
You
ref-
know when you fucking said something you shouldn't, the ref's like seeing you and you're like,
That's not what happened though. The ref said that he got marched for his body language. The ref didn't even hear what he said or saw what he
Hold
said.
on. The referee marched him for body language?
Yes, in the ref's report, that is what the ref said. Like,
Well, that ref should be fucking fired if that's why you march someone.
well, I don't know. He's not reffing this week, but that's what the ref said. He didn't hear it, see it, and I just don't.
I got to be honest, that does change it a little bit. If the referee said that he marched him for body language, I don't even understand how that makes.
What
the
I
fuck
don't
is body
get-
language? What did he do? Was he saying put him up, cunt? Like what the fuck was
Well,
the body
aggressively coming in and complaining.
language? Oh, okay. So running at the referee and saying shit.
Apparently, he got marched for his body language.
I
That
did
is
read that,
from
actually.
the ref. He didn't
And
hear
then
it.
he didn't hear it, yeah.
And he didn't see
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Now, Paddy Carrigan and Fafita, look, you can say that, oh, yeah, they're just coming in for their boys. I give them more respect in their integrity. Do they really want to be known as liars in front of everyone?
I mean,
Paddy's a future captain of Queensland and the country. His integrity matters. And I just don't believe, okay, put it this way. We got two witnesses saying that he did speak to Paddy. Reece is saying he spoke to Paddy. As soon as it happened, he ran over and said, I was talking to Paddy. The ref didn't hear it. Ref didn't see it. What evidence do you have that he actually said it beyond reasonable doubt? Plus,
Vibe.
beyond reasonable vibe. It's fucking, that's
Plus-
all it is. It's reasonable
It was a-
vibe. I think he fucking said it.
it was split.
How do you think this shit works, Denon?
got me.
Beyond reasonable vibe.
You got me. I just think that what evidence did they have? Like, do they have like eye tracking where they had like 24K camera, they could see what his eyes were looking at? I just don't.
Why did he get suspended?
Vibe. Purely vibe. The chairman,
Bang.
so it was a split decision. Yeah, you got me. The chairman came in and said, well, it's a split decision, the judiciary. I think he did it. But what I don't get then is, okay, if he did do it, 3 weeks is too little. You can't say that to the ref. He should be getting like fucking 6.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I actually said that the other day. He should be getting suspended for life, really. Let's be fair, Ingham.
Yeah. Fucking disgraceful.
If
I
he's
just-
saying that sort of thing to the ref, which I don't, doesn't.
I
We
actually-
don't condone that here at Hello Sport.
No, we don't.
Of course.
We take a hard line.
I actually think it's good for Reece's career. He'll learn a lot from this because regardless of whether you think he did or he didn't, way too emotional, needs to act way more professional.
He was what I went off, and again, this is the vibe test, and that's all I can go off because I wasn't on the field, so I don't know one way or the other.
Yeah.
All I can do is make a fucking snap judgment call based on what I see. I saw a kid hot under the collar.
Yeah, he was hot.
Who was fucking fuming.
Piping hot.
He was
He
fuming.
was piping hot to the touch sort
Yeah.
of stuff.
Well, he was so hot that after they scored
Melt steel beams sort of hot. you know what I
we're
mean?
going down here.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
That hot.
Okay,
right?
okay.
Jet fuel stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think he just goes, "Ugh," and then goes, wasn't saying it to you.
It wasn't me.
He was so so if you go back and watch
And I guarantee you, if you go into the fucking school, he's a young kid, mate. He's a pup. That's what every motherfucker be doing
Kempy
too.
almost killed you then for interrupting him. I just saw his face.
Well, I wasn't finished.
No, but if you go back and watch Broncos' first try, he actually has a blow up at Carrigan then as well. So there was a running battle between him and Carrigan, and you can go back and watch it. They're walking back, and Reece Walsh is going, "Fucking come here, come here." He's yelling at Paddy. So like they clearly had issues on the field for the entire game. What do you got there, Matty?
Oh no, I just wanted to look back at the Andrew Johns one to reference, and I've just found some more funny quotes from back then. So basically,
Oh, that was great. The
15
Joey
years.
one.
I've actually found a new one. So about 15 years ago, Andrew Johns got suspended for the same thing. He allegedly called Matt Checken, who was a touchy, "you fucking cunt." And basically, Andrew. So after the game, they asked Michael Hagan about it, and Michael Hagan said to the media, "I think he would be entitled to swear at him." Hagan said, "The game was there to be won and lost." Whereas Joey, in his column on the Sunday Telegraph a few days later, said, "If anyone should be apologising, it's him."
That's great.
Oh, that's good. Times have changed.
They have changed.
I know.
But so
You've
even
kind of changed my
though
mind. Sorry, carry on. You have changed my mind a little bit.
even though I believe he's speaking to Carrigan, his unprofessional attitude got him in this situation. So I actually think this is good for his career, because if he had got off, he would have come back, he would have been chill for a couple of weeks, and then he would have just gotten straight back into that style of play, overly emotionally, going up to refs all the time. I think he's going to be a much better player for this, and he's going to learn so much from it, and it's going to be good for his career long term.
Are you concerned that the Broncos,
on a
the
slide.
wheels have fallen off? They're starting to fall off again.
That's what people
Kevy's
are saying.
fucking
No.
furious. Kevy's foaming. He's tearing up in the sheds again.
Did you see him walk out?
It's called passion.
Reece out for 3 weeks.
Honestly, Manly could use some tears.
Ricky out for 8 weeks.
Manly
Flegler-
could use some tears.
Listen, I don't think that we're in some trouble.
I need some tears at Manly.
Listen, we're in trouble, dude. We spent the first fucking 25% of this whole show, well, 400 hours of this show talking about Manly's problems. All I'm saying is you guys, hot to trot, grand final, fucking da-da-da-da, you guys, is this where you guys tumble out of the eight again?
Again, imagine that, back-to-back tumbles. I reckon you lose to the Dolphins this weekend, and the tumbles well and truly on for young and for old.
Yeah.
Could you handle back-to-back tumbles?
Well, are you going to handle
Could you-
back-to-back? Are you going to handle back-to-back 11s? Back-to-back 11s?
Answer the question.
Could you?
Yeah, of course we could. We're a mighty club.
So
Could
you're saying you could tumble?
we could handle it.
Oh.
Yeah, we could handle it. But he's going to handle the fact that he's going to play finals footy and finish, 11th or 12th 2 years in a row?
Yeah, we've come to terms.
Listen,
with
we've come to terms with the fact that this is... I'm also not putting the cue in the rack yet. There's still a lot of fucking rugby league to be played.
Yeah.
But...
We do have a fullback factory, though, in Queensland. Tristan Saylor, Herbie Farnworth, Selwyn Cobbo. Fullback factory.
Is that Wendell's boy?
Yeah, killed it against the Warriors. Nearly man of the match, pretty much. We literally beat the Warriors without all of our players in New Zealand. So
but your attitude's fucked. You know what I mean? Look at this kid here. He's fucking, sucking his
I
own
will
dick
say
now.
Flegler and Ricky, they are a big loss. I actually think that Flegler and Ricky potentially could be a bigger loss than Walsh. Even though Walsh is absolutely incredible, we have really good fullbacks, whereas replacing Ricky and Flegler, very, very tough. Very, very tough.
Who's playing fullback, Cobbo? Or is Saylor going to...
Saylor.
Oh.
Saylor. So he's a gun. He's a gun. Been killing it in Q
I
Cup.
wonder if he'll get picked up by another club.
So I as I said, with Reece, I just sort his emotions out because the kid's a star. Absolute fucking superstar.
No,
Absolute
denying
star.
that. He's also gorgeous.
And he's hot. And fuck him for being hot. And he deserves to be charged for being hot.
Yeah, but so do you think then... Oh, are we then agreeing that Peter Bedell actually well within his rights to come after a young hot boy for
Yeah.
being a young hot boy?
I think it's the Australian way.
I don't think it is. We suck him off every week. It's certain. I think it's certain.
Old school.
Tall poppy syndrome
Oh
is
no,
a thing.
tall poppy exists,
Yeah.
but
And that's just a guy jealous of someone who's hot.
an ugly man going after a hot guy, hot boy.
Mate, that's age old. Happens all the time.
Since the dawn of time.
Since the dawn of time.
Basically, most punch-ons are about that.
Yeah, ugly men have been
It's true.
trying to chop down hot man because the hot man fuck all the women.
And the
Men.
And men as well.
Seriously, and the men.
fuck all the hot people.
And
Like,
he's
if you're
hot.
a hot guy and you're gay, field day.
It's absolute field
If
day.
you're straight, field day. Goes both ways, baby. Don't
You know
worry
what?
about
You know what Reece has got? He thought he had pretty privilege, but Bedell said, no, you don't have
No,
pretty privilege.
you don't have pretty privilege up here in Brisbane, baby.
that. Yeah.
No pretty privilege, mate.
pretty privilege. Pretty privilege is a tongue twister.
Bloke Lager on special in Bottle-O's across New South Wales and Queensland. Get into the Bottle-O website or our store locator to find the nearest store near you. Also, don't forget, our hungriest play this week was Wateni Zalesniak. Use code DWZ on Menulog to get $10 off when you spend $30 or more this weekend.
He was hungry.
Fuck, he was hungry.
He's been starving, actually.
Yep.
So fucking...
The last, 6-7 weeks, he's been fucking...
Talk about hot, the hair. Oof. It's hot.
The whole thing's a vibe with him.
Oh,
he's as vibey as it gets right now.
He's such a vibe.
Minister for vibe right now.
Big time.
Who do you boys reckon? Actually, thoughts on Game 3 selection for New South Wales. Would you make wholesale changes or would you not?
We were talking about this yesterday. There isn't a whisper about the selections that happened this weekend.
It's more about Queensland, about the fullback.
But like New South
Nothing
Wales
has
media
been
is just
said
like,
at all about New South. Do you find that strange?
Yeah,
Not,
very
not a
bizarre.
single fucking word. I haven't heard anything anywhere.
I mean, I feel like we're the only ones been talking about it.
we're a little bit flat in New South Wales.
Oh, we're flat.
We're a bit flat.
Changes I'd make, I would be starting Cam Murray. I'd be starting Liam Martin.
At 13, Cam Murray, or on the edge?
13.
Yep.
I would be, mate, like seriously, that's probably about it.
I'd also go.
Oh,
I'd
well,
fuck
Joe
Luai
Jones.
off. I'd
Sorry?
fuck Luai off and I'd go Nico.
Tedesco there, out of respect, as a thanks for fucking 3
farewell.
series. 3 series? Fucking oath. Good on you, Skip. Pat him on the back. Hopefully you don't get swept. And then we can start talking about big changes next year.
But I'd give Nico a crack. Jerome can.
Oh, yes. That's the other one. Nico in for Jerome.
Jerome can go.
I'd go Moses Hines in the halves. I agree with you in regards to out of respect for Teddy, him at fullback. I would still say, though, that it's next year he could still become the fullback, but it's not his jersey just...
He's gotta reapply for the
would
role.
have to. He has to reapply.
Yeah,
And,
reapply.
History shows that if you reapply, you rarely get it.
Yes, but don't come out and say New South Wales Rugby League that Teddy needs to reapply, because that's
Don't
not fair.
say it.
Don't
You
say it.
tell it to him privately. But like, if Trell and Tommy were fit, then I would probably be already telling him to reapply for this next game. But I'm not. I don't think it's reasonable to ask him to reapply when Dylan Edwards and Gutho say are like the other people fighting for it.
Would you have Campbell Graham?
I'd have Critter on one edge, Campbell Graham in the centres. I'd have Addo Carr, To'o. Fuck To'o's good.
To'o's so good.
Honestly, he's so good. Then I'd have Moses, Hines. My starting forwards would be Haas, if Jake Trbojevic is good. Jake Trbojevic, depending on his fitness. If not, Paolo. At 9, I would have Robson to start.
Yep. Cookie off the bench.
Cookie off the bench. And
But
then
I'd actually do that this time. So if there was an injury, I'd be like, we'll use someone else. Like I would
Yeah.
stick to the hooker rotation plan.
Did you see the Brandy
see Greg-
on
Greg-
SEN? His
Mate.
like justification for it. That to me again, that's like politician lying bullshit.
Well, I don't think
it wasn't
it's-
even
but not
lying.
lying, but not lying. But it's like political spin.
But it's not. He didn't make that decision.
sure, but he can still be. He's part of it. Like he can't be like, oh,
that was a call on the go by
yeah.
Freddie.
Yeah,
Like,
but they're
that-
stuck with that thing the whole
No, but
fucking
at the
time.
end- but
he
the-
didn't criticize it. He was
No,
like,
but
yeah,
at
that
the-
was a fucking dumb call.
But at the end of it, he was like, they were like, yeah, but that ruined your hooker rotation. He goes, correct.
correct.
He
Yeah.
was saying as much as he
And
could.
Brandy is just speaking on behalf of the coaching staff. Like Brandy's not in the box making like decisions.
he's not. Oh, he's not in the box.
No, I don't think he's making
no, I
decisions.
don't think so.
He's on the sideline. He's part of his fucking assistant
No,
coach.
he's
isn't he?
no, he's not an assistant coach. He's like a director. I don't think he's an assistant coach. He's like a
He's like a
advisor.
selector.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'd like to hear Freddie talk about it. Even after the game, he's like, don't talk to me about it. I told Cook he was going to play centres before the game. You're like, ah?
Now that's the strangest thing to me. I can understand where they're coming from. Well,
The
where
justification
Freddie Patient-
of, like, he's quicker.
He's quicker, even though I disagree with
Yes.
it. But the idea before the game that Cookie would play centre, that's very surprising to me. Now people say, obviously, Cam Murray was injured. It's like, if Cam Murray's
what
injured,
the
he
fuck's
should
he picking?
don't get selected. So yeah, I'd have Cookie. I'd keep Stefano just because you can't burn another young forward.
No.
You got to give him another
Give him a
crack.
fucking crack.
I would go
him more than
Isaiah
13
Yeo
minutes.
on the bench.
Yep.
And either Hudson Young or Olakawatu. Sorry. I would start Murray at 13, Martin one edge, Young the other edge, and Olakawatu would replace Frizzell. Not because Frizzell's been poor, but just because of age and I'm trying to build towards the future.
Do you build towards the future when the sweep's on?
You may get
'Cause that-
swept anyway.
Yeah, I know, but you're a Queensland fuck who's like trying to.
Mate, I like...
Is Frizzell going to be
Whatever.
the difference between a sweep?
Whatever.
No,
He's not going to prevent that. We either get swept or we don't. You know what I mean? It's up to the gods now. Really.
in the hands of God.
We were fucking like the last two games, even game one, we've been awful, like absolutely appalling. So it's up to the
Maybe
gods
New
whether or
South
not we
Wales
get
need to
swept.
be swept.
It's literally up to the gods if we get swept or not.
Also,
literally.
that now, like,
mate,
the report
based
of
on
the
what I've
coach,
seen, where
did
we'll
you
get
see the
swept.
report, the coaching reports, where it was like they're going to keep, reportedly, they're looking at keeping Freddie
Put a
and
director
bringing
on.
Brian Smith in as a director.
No, that wouldn't work. Well, how would that work?
Well, I don't know.
That's ridiculous.
I think it's more. Well, I mean, look what with Kevin Walters, like they brought in Benny Eichen. Obviously, Benny Eichen's moved on, but
That was in like club.
you know who I'd bring in? If I had to keep Freddie, I'd bring in 2019, 2018 Freddie.
Oh, okay. So we go back, get him.
Go back and get 2018 Freddie, the guy that came in super chilled, take your shoes off, very relaxed. The 2023 fucking intense. Like,
Intense.
Look, if looks could kill Freddie,
Yeah, that's not a fun one.
that's not a fun one.
You
I don't
need
want that.
fun, barefoot, skivvy Freddie. Remember we were skivvies in the box?
Yeah,
Like he
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
in fucking suits and jackets and shit. He's all corporate
Yeah,
Freddie
yeah,
now.
yeah. Yeah, he
He's
is too
all, we all
corporate.
bleed blue, star sponsorships, Westpac.
I want Steve Jobs Freddie.
Yeah, we need Steve Jobs, TED Talk, fucking launching the new iPhone, Freddie.
Yeah, like the original iPhone.
Yeah,
When
the original.
Like, bang.
Yeah.
That's the Freddie I want. The one that'd answer questions about selection. You know what I mean? Pretty
Yeah.
openly, honestly, and go, oh, you want to talk about Origin on my own podcast?
The Freddie who's open to new
experience.
experiences, like, you know, if his wife's like, do you want to go salsa dancing? He's like, fuck it. Yeah, I'll go. I'll do it. I'm a little anxious about
and
it.
then he gets there and his hips move.
Well,
He
and
unlocks
he
them.
loves
He's
it.
unbelievable.
He loves
He
it.
dominates.
He's fucking brilliant. The salsa guy's like, you're natural. He's like, oh, thanks. I'm
Yeah.
really fucking uncomfortable. But I'm
And
like,
all the husbens are standing there watching as Freddie just works through
fucking
all the
rips,
women and just
dude.
shows them all
He
a
needs to
great
be open
time
to new
from a
experiences.
dancing perspective.
Try foods he doesn't like. You know, I'm not a big spice guy. Yeah, now. Try some spicy foods, Freddie.
He wakes up one
Doesn't
day, he
work
goes,
with my
where am I
gut.
going to the world one day today? He goes to the Middle East, has
Yeah.
the time of his life. You know what I mean?
Exactly, dude. Go backpacking in like
That's
fucking.
right. He doesn't.
You know,
he goes
Nepal.
exactly. He goes and climbs Machu Picchu. He's open to new ideas, new
Yeah.
experiences, new life.
He needs to wear a bit more like natural, like the.
Well, he wore hemp, Tom.
Yeah,
he
needs to
wore
wear
hemp back then. It breathes, it's organic, and it's a
yak
better.
and stuff. You
so
know,
do you
get, like,
reckon he
yak
should
fur.
kind of eat, pray, love in the off season?
Yeah.
He
Every
used to
day
eat,
of his
pray, love.
life,
He used to eat,
He
pray,
needs to
love.
live, eat, pray, love.
He's been working a fucking 9 to 5 in finance.
He's
or
burnt out. He's burnt out.
He's like literally. That's the easiest way to describe it. Freddie has burnt out. He has.
Oh, poor Freddie. Already.
Love Freddie, respect him, but he's burnt out.
Yeah.
I did like the picture of Billy just sitting there looking across the country with an Australian banana with
Just
a
with
cup of coffee.
Dude, are you kidding
Tell you
me?
who's not burnt out? Billy.
Billy's fucking eating bananas, everyone, just looking out at the sunrise, buying like
We're looking
miniature
out-
donkeys
looking out
from
over
fucking,
his
did you see that
land.
one? His wife brought up a photo, they're like, oh, we just bought some mini donkeys for the farm. I'm like, what a life this guy's living. What a life. He's buying mini donkeys and eating Australian bananas. Proud bananas.
Proud bananas, proud. He would have had them shipped down from Queensland, wouldn't he?
Oh,
And
for
I've
sure.
heard-
He only eats Queensland.
I've heard one bite. Straight down.
I'd
Swallows
back him
them
in.
whole. Fuck
I'd back
yeah.
him in.
Anyway.
Who do you reckon will...
But so that's the team you just mentioned is what I'd be going with.
Yeah, I reckon it's the best way forward. I think even though Olakau'atu had a month with quiet footy, just get him in there. Just give him a crack, see how we go.
See what he can do.
Yeah.
What do you got to lose?
Because when I look at
But
the...
I would 100% be starting Cameron Murray at 13. I think that's
Yeah.
that's almost the first thing I'd do.
I think when you look at the Queensland side, we have big destructive throbbers, like on the edges. Like Tino could go to an edge if he needed to. Then we've got obviously like Lindsay Collins is a bit. I just think that when you look at the forward pack for New South Wales, when Cam Murray and Liam Martin on the field, they lack a bit of like pace and explosiveness. And I just think Olakau'atu might be able to be that kind of game breaker where, you know, Hudson Young can do it, but like Hudson Young's more of a more minutes player, whereas I think Olakau'atu could really come on and just break a game open.
Put some cunts.
What a bit of us.
A bit of us.
Isn't it funny how quickly we went from being the shit hot new up and coming side? You guys are the old bunch of fucking losers on the scrap.
Well, misfits, really.
Yeah, and now it's like a little bit where like you don't even necessarily. It's not obvious who you bring. It's not like we got the duffel bag is a little bit barren.
Yeah, we've got Big Red waiting in the wings. Corby,
You know what it feels like all of a sudden, really quickly, just like that? It feels like 2008, 2009,
Yeah, I
2010
know,
again.
I know.
It does. It feels like we're there. That's what it feels like. I'm just being honest, punters and dribblers. Like, if you're a New South Welshman, you gotta admit that you feel the same way. I know you do. I know you feel like me. I know that you're eyeballing that Queensland side, which just got so hot like overnight. And you look at our older side and you just start going, oh, Jesus.
One of the all-time gloves.
Oh dear.
It's a glow up.
Like the Maroon's one of the all-time
No,
gloves.
the Maroons glow up over the last year has been
I
ridiculous.
was saying at Tom, I'm like, first game before a ball had been kicked, I was looking outside. I'm like, god damn, that's a rugby league side. That's a fucking side, bruh. Like touching myself. Now I look at it and I'm almost like, ooh, got the ick a little bit. No offense.
Well,
Just
game 3 will determine how like severe the ick is. But it was there.
a 32-6,
Yeah, the ick was there. Ick.
big time.
Yeah, that's rough. It's rough. Hey, we were at 2021, record defeat. Always got to remember
I
it.
tell you what though, Denon. Rugby league hardship, such as the one that Eddie and I have been going through, both Origin and club, great for business, great for clicks. People like seeing us fucking just sad, it would
Yeah.
seem. I didn't know that. Look, I mean, I'm disappointed in our audience, but they seem to be at their happiest when we're at our lowest.
But there's always a silver lining. That's one of them. And our test side
Test cricket, dude.
fucking has our foot on the throat of the palm. And I can't tell you how much I'm enjoying it. Nothing brings me more joy than watching the English unravel, particularly their media. I just cannot get enough of
Kevin
it.
Peterson gave one of the great
Oh,
sprays, dude.
my God. If you
Yeah.
haven't seen it, go on to Twitter, look it up.
I had it on in the shower
It's
while I was just
good
pleasuring
stuff.
myself.
Listen to Test Match Cricket. Is it Test Match
Test match
Special? BBC. I don't even know if it's BBC, but just Google it on podcast. It'll come up.
Don't Google it, Spotify.
Spotify,
Don't Google it on
or
podcast.
Apple it, whatever. It comes up. It's good for the soul. Vaughnie, not happy camper, goes hard in the paint today. The English are unravelling. They sent us in last night, Denon, and we fed them to the wolves, mate.
Yeah.
If you're a New South Wales
But you
Wales
were up
Manly
late
fan,
night watching it, weren't you?
Watch the whole thing, mate.
Yeah.
Cumble.
you know what? If you're a New South Wales fan with a team in the bottom 8, fucking just switch over to the Test match, dude. Switch over to the
Give up.
Ashes. Don't give up.
Give
but
up.
Just trust me.
Do what you're good at.
It's fantastic viewing, and it's a nice distraction in
Yeah.
tough times.
But then remind yourself that Queensland also gets to take pleasure in this.
Well, you don't need to.
Yeah, but
I'm
the
just trying to
players,
help people
yeah, but the players winning, like the players that win the Ashes every time.
But there's
Usman?
no
Oh,
New South
Queenslanders.
Wales
Yeah, there's
Usman.
no Queensland.
there's like
He's
one.
actually born in New South.
Did he win player of the match?
Yeah, but he was born in Pakistan, spent all of
So
his
he's actually
junior years.
not-
He grew up in New South Wales. If there was an Origin, he'd be playing for New South Wales.
Ooh,
Queenslander. He's a Queenslander.
Devo.
No, he's not.
Doesn't he play for Queensland?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's
but
not the
yeah,
same
but you
thing.
can move around.
So he
You can move
chose
around.
to play for Queensland.
Well, I
Is that what you're
think
saying?
that he's playing
Now, what he
there.
said, what I don't know if you were listening, so I'll say it
Okay,
again.
okay, yeah.
Tom just said that he was born in Pakistan and he grew up learning the game in New South Wales. So if there was a state of origin, he'd play for New South Wales. Do you understand?
But he's choosing to play for
Well, it's
Queensland.
like club shit. So it's like Payne Haas plays for the Broncos,
Yeah.
but he's a New South Welshman.
But it's not called Queensland, though, is it?
no, but that's their club. Like that's
call
their,
the Bulls.
It's like the state.
The Queensland Bulls? Mm-hmm. Okay.
State
Because the
shit.
team's in Queensland.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Like
he's playing
club
for
cricket
Queensland.
doesn't matter, right? So like
Doesn't matter, okay.
No. So like no, state cricket does. Like that is the cricket's version of club cricket. Like no one gives a fuck what the Brisbane state area, like the club area.
Are you upset?
Queenslanders care.
But are you
Queenslanders
upset with it? All your best Queensland greats all played in fucking Melbourne. You're like, oh Jesus.
No, because they were
So,
basically
so the same
Queenslanders.
logic applies.
No, I don't think so.
How does it not?
How's it not?
Well, because you're
Well, you'd be
saying...
like, oh, you're a dirty fucking. You chose to play for Victoria. Munster choose to play Victoria because he fucking hates.
Well, because there's more clubs in rugby league, whereas it's the Queensland Bulls. They represent the whole state.
But there's less teams. Which
But there's
means you
only
have
one
to
team
do-
in. There's only one team in Melbourne, which means they represent the whole state.
They're called the Melbourne Storm.
Yeah.
The Melbourne Storm.
But they're Victorian side.
They're called the
And
Melbourne
the
Storm.
only
They're the
Victorian
only
side.
team
Hey,
in Victoria.
The Melbourne Storm.
I think we've made
Queensland
our
Bulls,
point.
the Melbourne Storm.
But that's because it's a club side. Basically, in cricket, clubs are states.
Yeah. Correct. And you can move around.
Listen, Denon, we were very happy about the cricket. Now you're starting to make me feel sad about that as well. All right, like, let's keep some positivity in our lives.
I know where Smudge is from.
New South Wales, baby.
Oh yeah. Paddy C.
New South Wales. Blue Mountains.
I mean, Skip, that Paddy C. Cumble at the end there, I did watch that. At the end there was the last test. I mean, how good was it to see? Because like the yarn is like, oh, this new generation, they're soft or whatever. He gets put in this moment only months ago, parent
his
passed
mum.
away. This pressure moment in England, and he fucking nails it.
Yeah, he's a beast.
It's what it was one of the great test matches, and it's also one of the great performances from him. But it'll be interesting because, like, in the full context of the Ashes, like if we win it back, it'll be one of the most it'll be one of the great moments in Test cricket history. Like it'll be like in Australian history at the very least. Like,
100%.
It'll
Well,
go down.
I'm going to be touching. I'm touching wood.
This is
Let
real
it
wood
be
too.
known.
This is
Touching wood. Statistically, the Poms are in big trouble already. Because if you've got a lead like we've got in the first session, in the first innings at Lords, I think there's only like fucking 2 times a team's won from England's position like the last 50 years.
How many is it out of? Like 2 out of 3 or
5 tests.
So we just got to win
If
2
we win,
tests.
if we win the first
if
2,
you
it's
win-
all over, basically.
Well, no, you've got to win. You've got it to win it. You got to win 3.
Yeah, so
to
we just need to win
retain
2
it,
more.
we need to have two wins and a draw. But you don't want to retain. You want to win this pitch because
So we need to win 2 more out of the next 4 games.
Yeah. If we win this and we've won the first 2 out of 5, like, mate, fucking pack her up.
Come on, boys.
And we haven't won there. We haven't actually won the series in England since 2001.
2001.
Wow.
We
Paddy
did, last time
Blythe.
we were there, we
should have.
We should have. We fucking lost a tight one at Edgbaston, and then the boys, or was it Headingley rather? And then the boys lit it up.
Headingley, that's
the boys lit it up after we retained the Ashes, apparently, and then like the 5th test at the Oval, everyone was a bit flat.
Oh, no.
But I've got a great feeling about this time. A fucking great feeling.
Quickly, Desi Hasler joins the Titans. What do you reckon?
Well, it's a great signing for the Titans.
Yeah.
Interesting to see that poor old Holbrook just completely blindsided.
Yeah, that seems like that was a little
Well,
bit
there's
dick move.
reports, though, that he had certain KPIs that if he didn't hit, then, the contract...
So yes,
whatever.
it's not entirely blindsided, but they might have been like, and didn't they actually? I heard now. I'm just remembering that they actually he had already not hit him, and then they gave him another chance, and then he
That's
didn't hit those.
again, that's the reports that and the whispers or whatever that I've heard. But it's really hard because if you tell, the head coach or whatever, if you're running a business, then it might get out that okay, let's say he tells the coach, Justin Holbrook, and then he tells his manager, and then his manager starts leaking things in the paper of you know what I mean? And it makes it really messy. Whereas the Gold Coast Titans have tried to make this as clean as possible, and they nailed it. No one knew Desi was. Apparently, it was a week and a half negotiation. That's how quickly they got it done.
And Mal's pissed off.
He's pissed.
You don't like to upset Mal.
He's a scary man. I would not be wanting to piss him off.
But I'm also he's kind of like the daddy of rugby league. You don't upset your daddy.
Can I, tinfoil hat it for a second?
Yeah.
Do you reckon the reason they didn't tell Mal is because Mal's got loose lips?
That sink ships.
Do you reckon he sunk a few ships?
Well, but they wanted to do this in silence. So they're like, Big Mal's got a big mouth.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's a really tough one because in a perfect world, you would love to tell everyone involved so that it's on the table, everyone knows. But as we know in rugby league, everything gets out. So it's sometimes you may just got to make this brutal call of no one knows.
Well, they nailed it.
And they nailed it.
They
Absolutely
did.
nailed it.
Can you imagine that happening at the Tigers? Just something not getting out.
If they get Ben Hunt, ooh, baby.
Well, the Tigers literally haven't even done anything wrong, and they were in the paper today for the coaching staff are angry that Fulton got hired without even being spoken to.
No one asked him. But then also apparently Benji and Fulton are fucking beefing.
It's just holy.
Because Fulton wanted Schuster, and then Benji's come out and been I don't want Schuster, and it's oh,
Interesting.
love it, absolutely.
Power dynamics. We love it. That's rugby league.
All right, let's get to our tips. Also, beanies for brain cancer round. It's beanies for brain cancer round this weekend with money going to Mark Hughes Foundation. Head to your local IGA or Lowe's to grab a beanie this weekend for an important cause. I think also you can buy it online though, can't you?
You can buy it online, but if you want to wear it this weekend,
You go to the thing.
Go to the
Okay,
thing,
yeah. Great stuff, Matty. You're on the ball today.
He is on the fucking ball today.
Fucking oath.
He's been really on the ball.
He actually hasn't dropped the ball.
He hasn't
either.
dropped the ball at all.
He's at 100% completion rate.
But watch this. He probably hasn't hit record.
Ooh, don't say that.
Remember when I was dressed in a suit
Yeah, we were all dressed in suits.
and he literally didn't.
You're talking about the best content we've ever produced.
Yes,
Yeah.
I am talking about
Yeah.
literally the best
We
content
had
ever produced.
bouquets for flowers for you.
The thing about producers is, right, and it just is what it is,
Yeah.
they will fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
At least once. But they'll learn from it, and the best ones will never make a mistake again. But you have to accept that there will be one fuck up.
I just wish
There
it was.
will be.
I wish it was on a week that we weren't all wearing suits.
Yeah, I wish it wasn't one where the visual was so
the point,
important.
The point is, it's never going to happen when it's
Yeah, you don't
convenient
need
for
it.
you.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
No.
It's always going to be when it's fucking the most inconvenient.
Do you ever have
mate.
nightmares about not pressing record?
I literally have this routine now where I have to put it in, check it's working, record it for a minute to make sure it ticks over. So the storage is doing it, just to make sure that's all good. I delete every memory card, record. There's no
So
way.
everything-
Fuck up
But
again.
see, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's a man who's had a fuck up.
He's
You
a man-
can't just be like that. That you can't be that disciplined without one.
Yeah, it's a good point. And he also got a bit of a rousing. Is that a word?
Did you rouse him? Did you shirt front him up against the wall?
I gave him the Darren Lockyer look, which is you don't say much.
Yeah.
It's just a look of like pure disappointment.
Yeah, yeah. That was
Pure
it. I barely spoke to Tobler for like fucking a month.
Yeah. I'm
Lost
like,
4
okay, we've got to
innings.
wrap this up now.
At some point, he's like, all right, you don't have to talk to him again. I'm like, yeah,
I'm like trying to release content.
yeah,
you never saw any
yeah.
of my
You're not
messages.
talking to him. Yeah, okay.
All right, on to the tips, boys. Sharkies. St. George.
Sharks. In a
But do you
big
see
way.
value in 670?
You see 670, but
don't.
it's trying to.
Really?
Yeah,
No, I don't see
no.
value there. I actually think this will be the Sharks at home putting a real fucking hump in them. Yeah.
But like the Dragons as well. This is like seems like real wheels off falling off shit. You know what I
Did
mean?
you watch them last week against the Warriors? Awful.
No, the morale must be so
Awful,
fucking
mate.
toilet at that club.
Awful.
Like 670 in a head-to-head battle
I
with Benny
honestly-
Hunt.
They put 40 on him last time they played.
This will be. I reckon Sharks are going to make statements.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Statement game?
Well, Nico wants to get picked.
Statement
Watch
game.
him
Statement
pick,
game.
Watch Freddie picture on the
Statement
way.
game.
Yeah.
Warriors, Rabbitohs.
Waz.
I'm back and forth. I'm going to go Waz because they're at home. Full house apparently sold out.
Yeah, a week before. I think it was a week
yeah,
in
yeah.
advance.
We love that.
Waz.
I'm going Warriors. Storm, Panthers.
Storm because they're at home.
Storm, Raiders, Titans.
Raiders.
Raiders.
I'm torn on this one. I thought the Titans are bloody good against the Broncos.
It's just cold weather.
Yeah, they did.
Cold Canberra weather.
Gold Coast Hot Boys
Gold
don't
Coast
like.
Hot Boys.
yeah.
They're beach babes.
I just got a vibe about the Raiders.
They love a dogfight.
I want the Raiders to make the top 4. I love the Raiders. I just
Well, I like Ricky. I like
that's
Ricky
what I
when
mean.
things are going.
I like all that. It's just good for the soul.
They should really rename the team to just Ricky's Raiders, and then so no, the players don't know where they're actually going to, so they don't have to. They get it and they go, "Where the fuck's this?" And you go, "Oh, this is Canberra." And you're like, "Oh shit, I thought Ricky was a player."
No, it's not.
No, Ricky's
well,
a coach.
mate, they should rename Canberra Ricky.
That's
If
not
they win a
bad.
comp, they will.
They will.
If they win it, if he
The
wins a
capital
comp,
of
he'll
Australia
melt.
is Ricky.
If he wins a comp with them, he will melt.
Yeah,
Oh, imagine the post-match press conference if he won the comp.
that'd be so good. He'd do it
my
shirtless.
God. It'd be unbelievable.
He would. You know what? He'd probably bring out like a collage of all the negative things said all year about the club.
Yeah.
And he would say, and he'd be like, "You said this."
Yeah, yeah. He'd go.
It's the fuck you wall. Wasn't that what Brockman had? The fuck you wall, where it was like anyone that doubted him or something, or was it someone else? Was it Brockman? Yeah, it was Brockman. Yeah.
What he screenshot social media things and
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what was on the wall, but it was like whether it was social media or things that people were like. But he had like a wall of like.
I don't remember that.
I thought it was a wall that when he woke up, it said something like "Get the fuck out of bed"
Maybe
or
that
something like that.
was
Okay.
more.
So
I
it's more
can't
like
remember.
a self-fuck you.
Yeah,
But he
might
did
be-
call it a "fuck you"
He
wall.
called it a fuck you
Yeah.
wall. It was like something that
So he's
like,
fucking
motivated-
himself.
Potentially.
I like it. Cowboys, West Tigers.
Cows.
Yep.
Cows are back.
Cows.
Cows.
I think Cows will be looking to redeem a certain game at Leichhardt that didn't really go their way. I think there might be redemption on the wind.
Broncos, Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Fish. That's value. Fish value.
Mate, Short O'Sullivan's back. The fucking side looks
You're missing
good.
Reece Walsh,
You're missing
Ricky,
Troops.
Flegler.
You lost last week to the Titans.
Wheels falling
Pathetic
off.
game.
Kevy's
Wheels
pissed off. He's been
Yeah.
crying all week.
No, this reeks of a
Mate,
You want to talk about value?
you want to talk-
327.
Also,
Ooh,
talking
mate.
about bringing up Ben Hunt, it's like, hey, Dad, why are you trying to get someone else into the side for me? You know what I mean? Billy Walters there saying, Dad's fucking dogging me.
Yeah, Dad's dogged his own
Yeah,
boy.
no, wheels
Dolphins
falling off.
327, better the round.
Yep.
Bulldogs, Knights.
Knights.
Yeah, but who knows? Like this thing's. Nah, you want to talk poo slingers, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm
That's
going
it.
Knights because we interviewed Millie Boyle yesterday and she's with the Sheriff.
And she used to play for the Knights.
And she
so
used to play with the Knights. Won a comp with the Knights, Tom.
Yeah, exactly. Captain Demeti.
She
to a
did.
competition.
She did. So, Knights. For that reason.
Seagulls, Roosters.
Manly.
Manly. Oh, Manly's come in too. The
Yeah.
punters love Manly.
Yeah. Roosters don't like to win at Brookvale. Manly love to win generally and also love to win at Brookvale. Roosters.
Generally?
Well, Roosters
we love
just-
to win.
Yeah, we love
Yeah,
to
okay.
win.
Generally.
Roosters are a
Okay.
shit side.
But you don't win generally.
Generally, we do.
Not this year.
I bet you've won more
Well,
than once.
statistically,
We've never won a
we
spoon,
win.
so we'd probably be best.
Have you won more games than you lost this year?
Dunno.
Well, you're talking about fucking the history of the club. Aren't you? This year, this year not.
Northern Eagles.
Fuck off, mate.
Oh, how good. All right. Anything to let the punters and dribblers know, boys?
Nah.
Yes, live stream tomorrow night.
Yes.
For SEN with the great, the powerful rugby league guru.
Oh, the great
The
guru.
Roo's in.
The great
How good's the
guru.
Roo?
How good's the
In
Roo?
rugby, he is rugby league.
He is.
Yeah, he is rugby
I
league.
love the Roo.
Cut him open, he'd have little Steedens in there.
Fucking oath he would.
Fucking oath.
If he got his misso pregnant, it'd just be a steed.
A little
Yeah.
Steeden coming out.
Yeah, little Steeden. Imagine that.
That'd be nice.
And as usual, I'll go and fuck myself. Thank you.